Welcome to The Edit with your host, Vivian Cole. Brought to you by Vogue Media Agency, the podcast where branding, visibility, and influence are curated with intention. Each week, we cut through the noise to explore strategy, storytelling, and what it really takes to build a brand that's seen, heard, and remembered.
Welcome to The Edit. I'm Vivian Cole. Today, we're editing culture. Because culture is one of the most misunderstood forces in branding. It's often reduced to trends, aesthetics, or momentary relevance. But real culture isn't something you borrow, chase, or copy. It's something you build, protect, and earn over time. Relevance is not something you chase. It's something you earn. And brands lose credibility the moment relevance becomes desperation. You can feel it when a brand is trying too hard to stay current. The language shifts suddenly. The tone changes overnight. The brand voice starts to sound unfamiliar, almost like it's wearing someone else's clothes. Relevance without intention feels performative, and audiences are far more perceptive than brands give them credit for. Strong brands don't ask how to stay relevant. They ask what they stand for, consistently and clearly, because consistency creates trust. And trust is what allows relevance to last beyond a moment. Culture rewards clarity. When values are clear, relevance follows naturally. When values are vague, every trend becomes tempting, and every moment feels like an opportunity you can't afford to miss. That's when brands begin to lose their center. Weak cultural alignment usually shows up in subtle ways. It looks like copying language that doesn't fit your brand voice. It sounds like adopting phrases or positions that feel forced or out of context. It appears in rushed reactions to conversations the brand hasn't taken the time to understand. The result isn't relevance. It's confusion. Culture is not about reacting quickly. It's about responding thoughtfully. Cultural power comes from discernment, from knowing when your voice adds value and when silence is stronger, from understanding that not every moment requires commentary and not every trend deserves participation. Strong brands are selective. They choose when to show up and when to stay grounded. There is confidence in restraint. Brands that chase culture are always one step behind it. Brands that understand their values shape culture quietly over time. They don't need to announce their relevance. It's felt through their consistency, their clarity, and their alignment. Culture is built in the everyday decisions a brand makes, in what it prioritizes, in what it protects, in what it refuses to compromise. These choices accumulate into identity, and identity is what people connect to long after trends fade. Think about the brands you respect the most. They don't reinvent themselves every season. They don't mimic the language of every new conversation. They feel anchored, familiar, trustworthy. You know what they stand for even when they aren't speaking. That's cultural strength. Culture also requires listening. Not passive listening, but intentional listening. Understanding what matters to your audience, what concerns them, what they care about deeply, not just what they engage with superficially. Engagement is not the same as alignment. A brand can receive attention and still be culturally disconnected. Relevance built on attention fades quickly. Relevance built on values endures. Now let's talk about silence. Silence is uncomfortable for many brands because it feels like absence. But silence, when intentional, can communicate confidence. It signals that a brand is not reactive, not impulsive, not driven by fear of missing out. Silence says, we know who we are. Cultural alignment doesn't mean you never evolve. It means you evolve without abandoning your foundation. You update your expression, not your principles. You respond to change without losing your center. Here's your reflection moment. If your brand stopped posting tomorrow, would people still know what you stand for? Would they be able to describe your values, your perspective, your purpose? Not your products or services, but your stance. If that answer feels unclear, culture needs an edit, because culture is not built through frequency, it's built through consistency, it's reinforced through intention, and it's sustained through trust. That's the Culture Edit. You've been listening to The Edit with Vivian Cole, brought to you by Vogue Media Agency. To build a brand that resonates beyond trends and remains culturally grounded, visit voguemedia.us. Until next time, edit with discernment.
Thanks for listening to The Edit with Vivian Cole, brought to you by Vogue Media Agency. Be sure to subscribe for more insights, share this episode with your network, and join us next week for another conversation on building brands with clarity, confidence, and impact. Visit voguemedia.us.
Vogue Media Agency offers comprehensive services to help small to medium-sized businesses, faith-based and nonprofit organizations, content creators, and entrepreneurs establish and grow their online presence. Focusing on website design, landing pages, social media management, podcast training, branding, weblog creation, and public relations, Vogue Media Agency provides a convenient one-stop solution for clients looking to elevate their digital footprint. What sets us apart is our personalized service and niche expertise. We are your marketing consultants. Contact us today.
To contact Vogue Media Agency, call 212-470-2730 or visit voguemedia.us.